Shalom, shalom, DeAndre and Terra. Thank you so much for inviting me to this video meeting, conference, this video discussion. I thank you so much. And I'm ready for your questions.
Okay.
Whoever's watching, greetings to you also. Greetings to my family. So much. Let's go ahead.
Okay.
You can go ahead if you.
And where can they, if somebody wanted to find you, Elder, how could they find you?
No, I'm in Zimbabwe, in Africa, in Zimbabwe.
Social media wise.
Oh, social media. Oh well, I'm on Facebook. I use the name Kohen Hamandishe on Facebook. I'm also on Twitter, the same name, Kohen Hamandishe. I'm also on WhatsApp, but you can find my WhatsApp number on Facebook. It's there.
Okay, thanks.
On our website.
I just want to say, just thank you for sharing your time, you know, from your family to do this. I know that, you know, you have a wealth of information, and I'm looking forward to just asking you questions and just getting some knowledge from the right source, not just any source. So if you feel comfortable, we'll move forward. You ready?
I'm ready. Thank you so much.
Okay, so we're going to start off with origins, and who are the Buha tribe? Did I pronounce that correct?
Buba is, oh, that's okay. Buba. Buba is one of the 12 houses of Israel, of the Lemba. We have got 12 Lemba houses. Now, Buba is one of the 12. Now, it so happened that when they were carrying out the DNA test, the Buba came out with the highest percentage of the Cohanim, the highest percentage of the priesthood, the children of Aaron. But otherwise, we are all the same. We are all children of Aaron.
Okay.
So, yes.
Okay.
The other.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I wanted to say that because of the time, I could have listed all the houses of the Lemba, the 12 of them.
Okay. Did you want to?
Yes.
Did you? Is there? Could you list a few of them?
Let me quickly do that. I might leave one or two houses. Mine is Boba. Boba is my house. My wife comes from the house of ceremony. Then we've got Sadiki, we've got Hassani, we've got Bakari, we've got Madi, we've got Mani, we've got Haji, we've got Tobakare, we've got Nemanga, we've got Sarifu, and we also have Madi.
Okay. So those are the 12. So those are the 12 houses of the Lemba.
Those are the 12 houses of the Lemba. But Buba is prominent because it has the highest percentage of the Cohanim.
Okay.
Yes, and we believe.
So that's a little breakdown of who the Buha tribe is. I'm saying it wrong.
No, it's okay. It's a Buba.
Buba. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's pronounced Buba.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So second question, who are the Lemba?
Well, the Lemba, actually, the Lemba came from Israel.
Okay.
Maybe I can briefly. The Lemba came from Israel, and they traveled. Our history is documented in the book of Ezra.
Okay.
It's unfortunate that our forefathers just traveled without documenting their movements. But then we can trace our history from the book of Ezra and Nehemiah. That's why you'll find how we left Israel, why we left Israel, when we left Israel. It's we left Israel after the Babylonian captivity. The returnees, there were three groups which returned from Babylon back to Israel, to the Holy Land. The first group was led by Zerubbabel, The second group was led by Ezra, and the third group was led by Nehemiah. So we're in the group which was led by Ezra. That was in 586 BC, before Common Era.
Okay.
So you can also check on the old maps of Israel. You'll find a place called Lemba. It's near the Dead Sea. Yes. Now, the reason why we left Israel is because the intermarriages which took place between especially the Levites and the priests and the women of the land, mostly the Moabites.
Okay.
So in the eyes of Ezra, it was a sin. So if you go to the book of Ezra, chapter 9 and chapter 8, it deals with the intermarriages.
Okay. And
so it was decided that these people, they must get rid. They must chase away their wives and their children, not their fathers.
Yeah.
But their wives and children should go away out of the Holy Land.
Okay.
Because they are making the bloodline dirty.
Yes.
So yes. They must move out of Israel. So instead of going to their native land, they went to Yemen.
Okay.
Yes. And if you see, you will find that in the book of Ezra and Nehemiah, chapter 3, verse 35, it talks about the list of the people, the returnees from captivity, the people who returned back. And you find that there's a name on verse 35 called Sena. Yes, within the highest number of the returnees from the
can you say that verse again? What verse was that again? So people can look it up.
Yeah. Let me check again here. You're talking about book of Ezra. Oh, Nehemiah is here. Chapter 9. So you can check that in Facebook chapter, book of Ezra, chapter 9.
And the verse?
Let me start from verse 1. And when these matters have been done, the leaders came to me saying, the people of Israel and the priests and the Levites have not separated themselves from the peoples of the lands as to their abominations. Those of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Jebusites, the Amorites, the Moabites, the Mizraelites, and the Amorites. And they have taken some of their daughters as wives for themselves and their sons, so that they set apart and is intermingled with the peoples of these lands. And the hand of the leaders and the rulers have been foremost in this trespass.
Okay, so yes. That gives us a little. So
the elders reported this. The elders reported this matter to Ezra.
Okay.
Said they have, especially the Levites and the priests have taken the foreign wives into marriages. So let's get rid of them.
Okay.
So if you continue reading chapter, it will come to a point where it will give you a date when the date was set. It was on the 20th of the 9th month of Kislev. Yes, the date is there.
Okay.
What I wanted to tell you, Andrew, is that when you see a date in the Bible, it signifies its importance.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever you see with a date in the Bible, it indicates that particular information is very important.
Okay.
I'll give you, for example, on creation, it's the first day, the second day, the third day, and the Shabbat, the seventh day.
Yes.
The dates are there. When the temple was built, the date is there.
Yes. So you're correlating dates with people, with times, with historical with historical reference. Now, let me just ask
Yes.
you this, not to stop you, but just to keep it going.
Who
Who are BaSena and who's Sena? Who's BaSena and or who's Sena?
Okay. Sena is the man I was talking about on verse 37, 35. We had the highest number of children, 3,630 children. He was the highest number of children. So when they moved out of Israel, they went to Yemen and they built a city and named it Sena. So Sena must be one of our ancestors.
Yes.
One of our common ancestors. From Mozambique, from Sena, went to Mozambique, they built a city and they named it Sena. In Zimbabwe, they built a city and named it Sena. In South Africa, the town at the border of South Africa and Zimbabwe is called Sena, and there are a lot of Lembas there.
Okay.
So Sena must be one of our ancestors because his name is mentioned wherever we settle. The name Sena is there. And the people call us as BaSena. Ba is B-A, it's like the children of.
Okay. So Ba, so not to interrupt you, Elder, Ba means children of.
Yes, children of Sena.
And then Sena would be the forefather's name.
Yes, the children of Sena, BaSena.
Okay.
Or we can just call this, they can just call us Sena people or BaSena. That means children of Sena.
Okay, perfect. That's perfect for that question. We're just going to round it off, and I'm going to ask you, I know it's rhetorical, but I want to be thorough. How do all these people connect to Israel? So we got the Lemba, the Buba tribe, we got BaSena, we got Sena. How are these people all connected? If you could give us a short, you don't have to go long, but just a short answer on that.
Yes, yeah, I just wanted to add up that if you go to, unfortunately, I just came without preparing. If you go the old map of Israel, there's a place called Sena near the Dead Sea.
Okay.
I should have shown you the.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I can put some of these verses and maps at the end of the video. I'll edit it in, so don't worry about it. So no, go ahead. So all these, so basically the common ancestor is Sena. There's towns in Israel named Lemba, and collectively these people, whether the name is changed, they all come from Israel, correct?
Yes. Now, coming to your question, can you just repeat it for me, please?
Say it again.
The connection.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Your question now. Yes. Can you just repeat it again? Sorry. May you repeat it again?
How are all these people connected to Israel?
The Lemba people.
Yeah. The BaSena, Lemba, Buba, everything. I'm just to wrap up everything so that people understand that these are all the same people. I see.
BaSena, because we are called by different names. Some call us BaSena. Some they say that because we are called as Lemba or Vashavi or Masoni. These names mean the same thing, the same people.
Okay.
BaSena means the Lemba people. The Boba is one of the 12 tribes of Israel. The 12 tribes of the Lemba. They all mean one thing.
Okay.
Boba is part of the 12 houses of the Lemba. And the BaSena, you can either call them BaSena or the Lemba. It's the same.
Okay, perfect. You answered that question perfectly. Now, if we can move on to the next question, Elder, Lemba oral history, is it really 2,500 to 27 years old? Is that true that story of the Lemba, BaSena, that long? Is that true? from your knowledge?
Yeah, from my knowledge, I think is that true, because we are calculating from the day we were chased away, our mothers were chased away from Israel. That was on the date of the returnees, when they returned from the captivity from Babylon. That's when we were chased away. And the date is there, on the 20th of the 9th month. That is in 586 before Common Era.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. So the date is there. Now, if you calculate, it will come to about around that number of years, 2,600, 2,700, around there.
Okay. Could you give us a brief? Could you give us a brief description of the travel coming out of Yemen? I mean, coming out of Israel that the Lemba forefather took. You know, they said that they came out of Israel, they traveled down, and then they split. Could you give just a brief history on how they traveled, or what the elders and you think the actual travel path was? If you could just speak on how they exited Israel and then the places where they ended up being. If you could, do you understand my question?
Yes, I understand. There are a lot of people who have done their own research on the Lemba people, and some have come up with the ideas that we passed through Ethiopia, we passed through Tanzania, we passed through Africa, all the way from Yemen. Because they traveled from Israel, they went to Yemen. Now, from Yemen, some have got different, researches indicating that we passed through Ethiopia. Yet, the truth from our own oral history, our history collaborates with what Professor Tudo Pafit say research, that we left Yemen after, we stayed in Yemen for almost about 800, 700 years. Then there was drought in Yemen. So 13 people went into a small boat to Africa in search of food. There were 13 boys, there were 13 boys and one girl.
Okay.
So they went into a boat. They traveled in a boat from Yemen, from Sena in Yemen to Mozambique. Okay. So when they arrived at Mozambique, at Sofala in Mozambique, at a place called Sofala.
Say that name again.
Sofala.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. That place is now called Sena. Yes. So when they arrived there, they had run out of food. So the girl and the captain of the boat went back, and 12 boys remained in Mozambique. Okay. And they built a city in Mozambique, and they named it Sena. It's still there. Even today, it's there. There's a place called Sena. There's a city called Sena in Mozambique. So they built a city called Sena in Mozambique. And then they got married to the beautiful girls of Mozambique. They married all of them. Now, they made an agreement that neither of us should marry from outside the 12 of us.
Okay.
Because this is what led us to the expulsion from the Holy Land, the intermarriages. So we don't want that to happen. So we strictly marry from within the 12, but you cannot marry from your own house.
Okay.
Like myself, I'm a Buba. I cannot marry from the Buba house, or my son cannot marry from the Buba house, or my daughter cannot be married from from a Buba man.
Okay.
So, in order for them to have a safe stay in Africa, they had to, to create a relationship with the locals.
Yes.
And what they had to do was to marry a second wife, so as to create a relationship.
Okay.
So they married some women, but they were second wives. Okay. The original wives were the Lemba.
Okay.
Now from there, they went inland and came to Zimbabwe. Okay. Where we are today, and they built a city. They named it Sena, but because there were few, and there were few that is their voice was not audible enough. They changed the name to Zimbabwe. Instead of Sena, they then said to Zimbabwe. Wow. Now, from there, history, our own history says that our people died there like flies.
Oh.
People died in their numbers in Great Zimbabwe. Why? Because they ate defiled food, like wild pigs and all those
foods that we're not allowed to eat anyway.
That were not allowed to be eaten anyway in the book of Leviticus. So they ate that food and we died. That angered the good of our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they died like flies. And they were now dispersed. We remained behind at Great Zimbabwe. That's where we are. That's where Goto is. We are still there.
Okay.
Yes, we're still there at Great Zimbabwe. That's where the name Zimbabwe came from.
Wow, from the Sena people,
yes.
huh?
Yes, from the Sena people. So the other group went to Merengwa and settled there. The 12 houses are still there. 12 of them, they settled there. The other group went to cross the Limpopo River and built a city there and named it BaSena. That's the name of the city. Right now, it's called BaSena at the border of South Africa and Zimbabwe.
Say that name again for the viewers.
It's BaSena.
Okay.
Yes, it means Sena.
Okay.
BaSena. Yes.
Okay.
Now they built a city there, and they've got a lot of lembas around that place. It's in the Limpopo province. You have got places like Toyando, Elim, Mokopane, places like Polokwane, Pumalanga. They are all lembas there.
Okay.
So that's how the travel, the way they traveled from Israel.
And what not to interject you, but isn't there a South African branch that is down? Is that what you're talking about on the Limpopo?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Our visitors, yes, our relatives are there across the river.
Okay, perfect.
No,
I was just trying to, you didn't say South Africa, and most people that watch this don't even know what the Limpopo, I just found out what the Limpopo river is. And then I have a friend that he has funds in the Limpopo game reserve it's not in South Africa, but it's on the other side of the river. So that's the only reason
Kruger. It's Kruger. It's called Kruger Range. It's Kruger. Yeah. We used to live as a family. We used to visit each other, But when Africa now was colonized, they were not put boundaries. Zimbabwe ends here, South Africa starts from there. Mozambique ends here, like that. Okay. We are now separated because of the colonization of Africa.
Okay. All right, let's go. If we could, do you mind if we move on to the next question? I know that you're trying to provide as much detail as possible, but I just want to keep it flowing. We'll double back. We touched on a little bit of the origins just now, so that you guys could understand where the Lemba come from, where BaSena comes from. So we're gonna move to what Torah laws do the Lemba follow?
Sorry?
What Torah laws do the Lemba follow? Like what laws Torah laws do Lemba follow that really stand out and show that they're of the lineage of the Levites and the Israelites?
Thank you very much. Now, you see, Lemba life, way of life, is Torah life.
Okay.
Yes. And what I want to say is that if you remove the Torah from the Lemba, you have removed their culture. You have removed their way of life.
That's
deep. It's Torah from the beginning to the end.
So it's Torah through and through. It's
Torah through and through. Our marriages, exactly how what was done in the Torah. Remember, Abraham had to pay the dowry for his son Isaac, for Abraham for his son Isaac, and Jacob had to work, had to pay dowry, had to work for his wives. This is how we do it up in today. Our marriages are not an exchange of rings. No, there's a payment called a dowry, which is paid to the father, the in-laws,
Okay,
to have their daughter. Now, not only that, if you also find that the systems, how the bride comes into the family, how is accepted in the family, it's exactly what you read of how Rebecca came to Isaac. It's the same.
okay.
If you come also, we can also come to the food laws. What is in the book of Leviticus is what we eat. What is not, what is denied to be eaten in the book of Leviticus is what we don't eat.
Okay. So
Exactly.
you're saying basically there ain't no difference than there's not one sliver of difference that you guys go by Torah, you go by what the forefathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob put down, and you guys have kept those laws that were given to your forefathers or our forefathers.
Exactly. Including even the way we slaughter our animals for meat.
Okay.
It's the way which is mentioned in the Bible.
Okay.
It's the way which is mentioned in the Torah.
Okay.
As it is mentioned, when you slaughter an animal, do it this way, do this. It's exactly like that. Our marriages, our food, everything.
Can I interject real quick? I was wondering, what does circumcision what importance does circumcision play in the Lemba culture or BaSena or everybody in Lemba culture?
All right. It's also one of the Torah life that we lead, circumcision.
Okay.
Now, unfortunately, we lost it on the 8th day because of our travels in Africa. Because our travels in Africa was sort of nomadic. So we lost the 8th day, but then we do it as and when we have quite a big number to be circumcised. But it's not, we're not the only ones who left, who lost the 8th day. Remember, even Moses, his sons, his wife, when he was just about to start work, leading the people of Israel out of Canaan, out of Egypt, his sons were not circumcised. They were already boys, already after the 8th day.
Okay.
And remember when Joshua was leading the Israelites in the desert, when they were just about to enter into Canaan, Adonai said, you should circumcise everyone before they enter Canaan. So there were older men there, very old men who were already there and circumcised.
Yeah.
So it was not a sin that we lost the 8th day, but we're trying to put it together back again.
Okay.
So the circumcision plays a very big role. You know, you cannot be a Lemba and participate as a male. We participate in our our meetings, in our ceremonies, in all these things which every man is supposed to do. But you cannot participate if you are not circumcised.
Okay.
To us, if you are not circumcised, then you are not part of us.
Okay, perfect.
Yes,
so
we can only know that you are part of.
Go ahead, go finish.
It's like
My bad.
It's like a ticket.
It's like a coming of age.
Exactly, it's a coming of age.
Okay,
it's a coming of age.
Okay, you definitely answered that question. Are there any genetic data to back up the Lemba's claim?
There's some, yeah, a lot of people have done some genetic tests. There was this one which was done by Jenkins. I think it's from South Africa, and it showed about 26%. Then there was another one which was done by Pafit. It showed about 45%. There was another one done by some scientists in UK. It came to about 45%. And there's the other one which I did with the government of Israel. That was in 2010. It came at 70%.
And that's
Kohanim.
the Cohanim Y gene, right?
Yes, I'll send you the photos. I'll send you the pictures. And that's when it was found that it was the Buba did the most concentration.
Okay. That's perfect.
I'll send you the images.
You know, I don't won't mean to rush you, but we are running out of time. I really want to, we'll do a part 2 of this, but I want to ask you, can I just ask you one last question, Elder?
That's okay. That's okay.
That's okay, mister. I don't mean to rush you or anything like that. You know, no. The technology we have. So, how do Lembas feel about African Americans and other diaspora being DNA tested to be Lemba?
No, we are so excited. We are very excited about that. Actually, we had some visitors from America. A family which came from America, they visited us. A lot of, about 3-4 families or now. They came to us, they showed us that we are one family. And to our surprise, if you put that girl in our community, you wouldn't tell the difference. It's just the same.
Okay.
The facials, it's just the same.
Everything looks the same, right?
Everything looks the same. It's only the language which differs, but otherwise it's the same.
Okay.
If at the time, I will tell you how you can tell that this one is a Lemba. If you look at the face, if at the time I would have told you.
Just by looking, right?
But just by looking. So we are very excited about discovering that our part of our community is now in America. And we also know that there was a ship in some time, like I've forgotten the date, which was coming from Mozambique, going to Egypt, going to Brazil. And it ended up in America. And it was full of the Lemba people. It was full of the Lemba people during the Atlantic slave trade. It was full of the Lemba people. They went to America. They are there. But it's fortunately, we are now fishing them out. They are not being fished out. They are now being identified.
Yes.
So we are very excited about this.
And one more,
very excited.
And let me just say this: is there anything before the video ends, because we're using Zoom? Is there anything you want to say?
No, I'll say after the second meeting.
Okay.
But at the moment,
perfect.
I'm just very grateful that
I not to interrupt you, but I just want to say I appreciate your time. You're always so loving, so caring, always a pillar of wisdom and knowledge. And do you want to go ahead and give your social media one more time? And I think we'll be up to the time after you say that. So go ahead and give them your social medias if you want to.
All right. Now, I just want to encourage my friends on social media, my brothers on social media, that this is the time. Now we are being identified as the Lemba people. Now, time for getting this excitement is over. It's now the time for us to connect with the God, with the Adonai of our forefathers. The only way we can reconnect with him is through following his Torah, is through following his commandments. And the only way of following his commandments is by living a Torah life.
Yes, living that Torah
life.
Let's
start now living the Torah life. Now let's start living the Torah life. Once we are in there, once we are immersed in the Torah life, I tell you, it's going to get excited.
Okay.
And we're also going to extend the coming back of the second coming back of Messiah. Yes.
Beautiful. Well,
yeah.
Elder,
we have to live the Torah life.
So we got about 2 minutes left. Anything else you want to, I didn't know there was a timer. Anything else you want to say that's been on your mind that you want to just throw out there? It could be anything. I don't, you know me, I don't care.
What I would want to say is that if I fail to give you the information that I have for us to join together again, because you are part of our family which went there. We are now joining. We bring join together.
Thank you.
Now, if I fail to give the answers, so that you can also embrace us and we can embrace you, I'll be a failure as an elder person. I'll have failed my duty as an elder person. So I try by all means to tell you how it is supposed to be done, how we do it. Because you see, the Jews are coming here in their numbers to come and see, because they know that we have the original. We have the Mount Sinai laws in our life. Yes. So they come here to try and tap and try and copy what we are doing and paste it in their life.
Okay, let me iterate what you were saying. Elder is saying, you guys, that the Israeli and the Israeli government already knows that they have that these guys, that we are the Lemba, are of the line of Aaron, the sons of Aaron, and the Kohanim. They already know, and they've came down to watch the Lemba and try to steal things so that they can implement. But the Lemba, other people know that, you know, their lineage is not stronger than the Lembas. Is that correct? Did I paraphrase that up?
That's very correct. That's very correct. That's exactly what I'm saying. You have put it exactly what I wanted to say. They know that they are very aware of that. But the problem now is, now when they are coming, they have changed their tactic. When they came here, they came as friends, trying to be we were meeting our Lemba Jews, or Lemba Jews were meeting our friends. But now they have changed the tactic. They want to swallow us to be Jews. You see, when we're Israelites.